The Justice Department has just a few more hours to submit its proposed redactions to the affidavit that authorized the search of former President Trump's home in Florida. The Justice Department has opposed the unsealing of the information over concerns it could compromise the investigation. Once officials submit the filing, the judge will determine if the affidavit will be shared in redacted form or at all. So for more on all of this, we want to bring in Robert Costa. He's just outside the courthouse in West Palm Beach. So for more on this, I want to bring in Robert Costa. He's outside the courthouse in West Palm Beach. Robert, so to start things off, what is the latest information we have on this affidavit?
Good morning. Great to be with you. We are waiting here outside the federal courthouse in West Palm Beach, Florida, to see what the government decides to do by noon today. That's the deadline for the federal government to propose redactions to the affidavit that was used weeks ago for the search warrant to search former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate just across the water here in Palm Beach, Florida. This is an important moment in the Trump legal story because we're still searching for more answers about why exactly federal investigators went into Mar-a-Lago to secure boxes of classified information. What prompted them to have the urgency to go in with FBI agents when the former president was not there? We've had a lot of reporting from CBS News and other news organizations come forward on this topic, but the government is the one that has the full affidavit that gives the scope of the rationale. But it's going to be a complicated decision for the federal judge here because there are national security concerns about the health and safety of federal agents who went into Mar-a-Lago. All of this will play a factor in the judge's ultimate decision on whether to release a redacted version of the affidavit.
So let's talk a little bit more about that. We've discussed this before. You know, the Justice Department initially argued that this should not be released at all. Can you share with us what the judge has said about what he hopes to reveal with the affidavit being released, redacted or otherwise?
The government's position on being averse to releasing the affidavit is not surprising. This is an ongoing federal investigation, and it's very rare for an affidavit to be released. But the judge has said here in West Palm Beach, the judge who reviewed the affidavit and approved the search warrant, that because of the high public interest, intense public interest in this case, that something should probably be released. So people had a sense in terms of knowledge about this case, about why federal agents went in. But it is strange, usually, to see an affidavit released while a probe is ongoing because the government and other investigators don't want too much information about witnesses, sources, and methods getting out to the public. But it is an almost unprecedented historical situation for a former president to be under this level of federal scrutiny, and that's why the judge has been pushing the government to perhaps provide some kind of redacted proposal that could be made to the public. But at this point, there are a lot of things the judge is weighing, and we're still not sure exactly what the judge will do.
Yeah, I'm sure he's taking this decision very seriously. He's going to have to go through the proposal. And so once he does that, though, and I don't know how long that's going to take, if he chooses to allow it to be unsealed, how long before you, the rest of the public, the media get their hands on it?
That's a timeline that's to be determined. The deadline's noon today. We've been waiting here in West Palm Beach all week to figure out when this would happen. We knew it would happen today, but we still don't know when the release would happen. This is an important moment, though, because when you think about the Trump legal challenges across multiple fronts, the Trump documents investigation is perhaps at the top of the list in terms of public interest due to the FBI search. And we have seen in a May 22 letter from earlier this year, May of 2022, that the federal government has been looking into the National Archives alarm from earlier this year and last year about documents former President Trump had at his Mar-a-Lago estate. We've obtained the letter that the National Archives has released, and it details special access programs, highly classified information. That raises red flags as reporters as we look at this. What was in those boxes? What was in those documents that were classified, highly classified, top secret, special access programs? So that makes this a very serious case in some respects, but we still don't have details. And what we would like to see is more details. But again, we might not see it if the judge decides to move in a different direction.
All right, Robert, thank you very much.